for me. Run through the land, you run through my soul. Bring me wisdom and peace. Run through all ages and all of life's stages. You bring me around to find my release.
Hi, this is Jan Lewis. Welcome to be my guest. Today we have Charlie Smith with us. Charlie is the author of Addiction Recovery and Coping Skills Workbook. Welcome, Charlie.
Thank you. Thank you.
Operation Battle of a Lifetime. And we're going to talk about PTSD as well. And you have been in recovery since 1993.
Yes.
That is a long time, day at a time.
Yeah.
He's going to tell you, I see, there's a picture on the back of him too. He was in the Army. And you didn't have to go to Nam or Desert Storm, but you were on duty in the office?
Well, I was in basic training, just graduating basic training,
Yeah.
and they took half of the company, put them in Desert Storm, and half of us went to our duty stations, and I went to Fort Carson, Colorado for 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
They can still get PTSD no matter where they're situated, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because they broke up your unit, and you didn't go and the other guys did. That's
Yeah.
got to feel awful.
You don't even have to be in a situation yourself to get PTSD. Look at 9/11, how many people had PTSD from that wasn't even there.
Yeah, just watching it alone over and
Yeah.
over and over again.
Yeah.
Addiction Recovery and Coping Skills Workbook. Charlie is a person in long-term recovery, like I mentioned. What did it for you in 93? What got you to do it?
I was hanging out with my cousin that passed away almost 3 years ago now of a heroin overdose. And I was getting really into cocaine, into drinking a lot. And my aunt actually told me, get out, get a job, and don't come back.
Great. How old were you about that?
I was 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were still young. You got in young,
Yes.
and that's wonderful.
Yeah.
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 So she told you, okay, it's either get a job or get out.
Yeah, and I was living under her roof because my parents had passed away when I was young.
Yeah.
And I went out. I went to the Army recruiting station and came back and told her that I was leaving in a month. I was going in the Army.
What'd she say?
She was like, I didn't mean that. But,
It was safe, and,
yeah.
at least you knew you had a place to go. And
Yeah,
they pay you,
exactly.
don't they? Don't they pay you?
Oh, yeah.
So, okay, so in a
Not a
month.
lot, but they pay you.
But if you started drinking and you went in, did you get an honorable discharge? What happened?
I excelled in the Army.
Yeah.
I barely made it through basic training because I was recovering and I was trying to, survive in basic training, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I got through that. I went into Fort Carson, Colorado, Bravo Company 112 Infantry, and I ended up being my XO's Bradley driver. The small tanks of Bradleys.
Yeah.
I ended up being one of his driver. And I got the honorable discharge. I got the good conduct medal. I got overseas ribbon because I went to Cuba for 6 months.
Yeah.
And we had Cubans and Haitians that we were guarding, and a lot of riot control and
All right, then once you were discharged, did you go home back to your aunt's? How did that happen? When you got
Once I was discharged, I got back. I went to my aunt's for about 6 months, and then me and a friend of mine got an apartment.
And that was it?
Yeah.
And you decided then to get sober, or did you get sober in the service?
I was sober in the service.
I was going to say, that's
yeah.
a heck of a way to detox.
Yeah.
Did they know you were detoxing?
No.
And you just kept it all to yourself?
Yep. Yeah.
So it was
one
coming...
One or two people knew.
So you were coming
and they
out
helped me.
booze and pills? Booze or opioids?
Pills or not pills, drinking.
Yeah.
And cocaine, crack, cocaine.
My God, that had to have been... That's dangerous. You could have died, couldn't you?
Probably.
With all the strenuous, the things that they put you through, I don't know how your body Oh my God. You were young.
Yeah.
Yeah, 20, right? About
Yeah.
20 years. Oh my God.
And
So-
I was so skinny when I went in.
Yeah.
My upper arms were like this, and they fed me double meals to bulk me up.
Did they know that before you were into the Army? Didn't they know that you were...
They knew that I was skinny. They just told me to work out and work out and work out, and I did all the working out that I could
And they
before I
did
went in.
double meals?
Yeah.
What do the other guys say about that? They must have been like, oh, look at this guy. Really? Did you
Yeah.
kind of like, here, you can have a little of this. It's like having a dog or a cat beside you, right?
I know,
Please,
right?
Charlie. Were they good meals, though?
It was not the worst food I've ever had.
Yeah,
You know,
it was pretty good.
Pretty good.
So
yeah.
when you got out, you got an apartment with your friend.
Yeah.
Did you start then going to 12-step program? When did you decide to write your book?
I never really went into 12 steps. I always just stayed away from drugs and alcohol. But with that being said, and I put this in my book,
Yeah.
I think everyone, no matter if you're going through recovery or not, should be in some sort of 12-step program, because the 12 steps are just amazing.
Yeah.
You know, it's just so many lessons in life that you should learn. And
Yeah.
I think if everybody did, it would be a much better
I've heard this.
world.
I've heard this. You know, whether you're in AA or NA or Al-Anon, I mean, all the steps are the same.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. Have you been up to, where is it, in Vermont, where Bill W.'s house was, where he lived? Have you seen? I don't know where it is located. I wouldn't know, but that's where Bill W. and Dr. Bob wrote, I think, together the big book, didn't they?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it was
Mm-hmm.
And the step book, they must have collaborated on that too.
Yeah, I learned a lot about that when I was a recovery specialist
Yeah.
in Washburn House in Worcester, and Spectrum in West Boylston, and a case manager at West Boylston.
So when you came back from serving, you knew that you wanted to go into that field?
Well, I did a couple of other things before then.
Yeah.
Like I was actually a homeless veteran about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And because my grandfather, that was my legal guardian,
Yeah.
and my uncle that raised me died a month apart,
My
both
God.
of cancer.
Ooh. So you were now about your mid-20s, maybe?
Yeah, it was probably late 20s.
Late 20s.
Yeah.
So
And I went through a really dark depression, carving on myself.
Yeah.
I tried to overdose on pills,
Yeah.
sleeping pills.
Yeah.
But I never went back to drinking.
Yeah.
I never went back to cocaine. These days, I'll admit, I'll have maybe a six-pack in a year.
Yeah.
Me and my brother will go out to the movies, and we'll go out to eat before,
Mhm.
and I'll have a beer,
Yeah.
and then sit in the movie theater.
You're lucky you could just shut it down.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's hard to do, I think, for a lot of people, you know?
Well, after being in sobriety so long,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, I wouldn't recommend it for anyone,
No.
but
Now, this is Charlie Smith, and he is the author of Addiction Recovery and Coping Skills Workbook. When did you write this?
I wrote that about a few months ago.
Oh, that came out fast.
Yeah, I have,
2019. Yeah, he's right, and you self-published it too.
yes, yep. I have 3 other self-published books, too.
What are those? What's the titles of those?
One is Operation TIP. It's a Trauma-Informed Program Plus. And I ran that for Veterans Inc., for the veterans.
Yeah.
And I ran that as a program for Jeremiah Zinn in Worcester.
Yeah, I know where that is too.
Yeah.
That's like sort of that the corner where Park Avenue meets
Yes.
Southbridge Street.
Right, yeah.
It's right there. It's still work. They still do it, right?
Oh, yeah,
Right
yeah,
there.
yeah. I'm good friends with Janelle Wilson and some other people that
Were you ever
run
there
that.
at the veteran? What do you call it in Grove Street? Is that Veterans Inc.?
Veterans Inc., yes.
Did you
Yeah.
stay there for a while?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Is it
yeah.
pretty? What's it like? Is it nice?
It's not a bad shelter. It's a good shelter if you need a place to go.
And that's
you're
it.
a veteran, they do take really good care of you. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. And with your background, I bet you could have helped a lot of the guys in there.
Yeah, and I actually went back a couple of years ago, and I volunteered to run my program for them.
How long did you do that?
About a year. Yeah.
Now, what are you doing right now? Before we get into the book, what are you doing right now?
Right now, I'm working with people with severe autism
Yeah.
and epilepsy and some other mental health disabilities.
Yeah.
And I bring them from Seven Hills.
Hmm.
I bring them to jobs. I bring them to wherever they want to go. If they
Medical
wanna,
appointments, things.
medical appointments. If they want to go to Target, I bring them to Target.
Yeah.
You know, if they want to go to Walmart, I bring them to Walmart. If they want to go out to eat, we go out to eat. You
It's
know?
not voluntary. You get paid to do it, right?
Oh yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's awesome. Okay, now we're going to get into this book. I mean, I could sit and listen to him all day. All right. Table of contents. There's also a workbook, too. If you look into it, it's got all the different lines, things that you can fill in yourself. I love workbooks. They're so much fun.
Oh yeah.
All right, now, Operation Battle of a Lifetime. Now, in the introduction, you talk about opioid abuse,
Yeah.
pharmacological effects,
Yes.
risks and benefits. Give us a little bit about that.
Well, as I put in that book, I wrote the first couple of chapters as a paper for school. I'm currently going to school at Quinsigamond Community College.
What are you studying?
Human Services.
Oh my God, you're going to be a shoo-in for it.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be talking tonight in my class about post-traumatic stress.
There you go.
Yeah. But with that paper, I talk about like where we've gone as far as research into treatments for opioid addiction,
Mm-hmm.
and we're really, I see us as in a standstill.
Yeah.
We really don't do anything more than what we're doing. And I honestly think that what a lot of people lack, and why I put that in my book, is coping skills.
Right.
Because as a case manager, I would always talk to my clients and ask them, what coping skills do you have?
Yeah.
And
Do you reach out to other people? Are you going to meetings, that type of thing?
I don't go to meetings.
No, but I mean, do you suggest that they go and make...
Oh yes.
Yeah, yeah, and
Yep,
connect
definitely.
and call people?
Yep. But a lot of them would be like, what's a coping skill?
Yeah,
Or,
yeah.
how do I learn my coping skills? How do I know what my coping skills are?
How do you distract yourself with something you enjoy?
Yeah.
Like maybe art or helping someone else?
Yep.
And they really don't have any idea yet how to do that.
No.
So what do you suggest to them? What do you like?
Yeah, I start off with, what do you like? What do you like to do? What makes you happy?
Yeah.
What makes you smile? You
Does
know,
that
like-
get them when you say that? They can think of something?
Yes. Yep.
I think that's awesome. Before we go any further, how can they get your book, Charlie?
You can go on Amazon.com and look up my name, Charles Smith, Addiction Recovery, or you can go on to my website, which is Long Life Experience, Charlie Dorenzo 1 at Long Life Experience.
That's great.
It's a Wix site, and you can find it on there.
Charlie, where have you appeared? I don't want to forget this. And where are you going to be appearing? You know, where have you been?
I do a lot of book signings. I've done book signings in the Shrewsbury Library, Barnes & Noble. I've done talks in various libraries, and I'm hooking up with I'm talking to Project New Hope in January about running a program for their veterans.
There, you know,
And
long
doing
ago
lot
there
of
was
other
a,
things.
oh God, Hope in West Greenwich, Rhode Island.
Hmm.
There was, I guess, an addiction place called New Hope. I don't think it's there anymore, but I remember the name. When you say Hope, I get that. Okay. Now, trauma, PTSD, and its effects.
Yep. I talk about hyperarousal. I talk about nervousness. I talk about when you have post-traumatic stress and something triggers you. Honestly, all you want to do is cry and hide in a corner. You know, that's how I am. I really just like. I have an aunt that has cancer right now, and I think about that. And loss is one of my triggers.
Yeah. You've lost
And
3 people in your life, right?
I lost my
You're four?
mother, my father,
4 people.
yeah,
And your grandfather and your aunt.
and my grandmother.
And now this is another aunt who's ill.
Yeah, she's, yeah.
Is she young, just, like the others were?
No, she's about late 60s, I would
That's
wanna-
young!
I would wanna
Charlie!
say, yeah.
Let me tell you,
Yeah.
by today's standards. Oh, God, yes. Oh, my God. Well, so you can relate to loss. And Charlie was telling me in the beginning of the show, PTSD isn't just for people coming back from the wars, but it's also folks who are watching even on television,
Yeah.
9/11. It can happen. So do you see a lot of people coming in with that type of thing?
I do. I talk to a lot of people with post-traumatic stress, and
How do
a lot
they-
of people
Get through it.
coping skills, really.
Yeah.
Grounding techniques,
Mm-hmm.
like if you're the best thing to do, really, is if you're sitting there and you're thinking about something that happened in the past,
Yeah.
and you're starting to get nervous, think about where you're at.
Right.
You know, I'm Charles Smith. I'm a guest on Be My Guest.
Just stay right in the moment.
Stay right in the moment. Mindfulness is huge when it
And
comes
don't
to
project, right?
Right.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Because I like to think ahead and, okay, what am I going to do here and there? It just comes naturally. But it's tough to just bring yourself right back to the moment.
Yeah.
What about medications to help ease it? That's like depression and all. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's medications that do help with post-traumatic stress.
Yeah.
I work in a different area, per se.
Yeah.
I would never condone medication, but like I tell people, meditation over medication.
That's pretty good. Meditation over medication.
Yeah,
If you can do it.
because- Yeah, if you can do it. I mean, a lot of people need medication, and a lot of people, if they need it, should be on it.
Right.
But I believe in meditation, yoga, exercise, all different kinds of alternative treatments.
Did you go through the panic attack routine?
Yes.
That's no fun,
Definitely.
right? Was it?
That's no fun at all.
People don't understand. It doesn't kill you. It's not going to kill you, but it feels like you're going to die, right?
Oh yeah. And a lot of people do take their own life because,
Of panic attacks?
well, not panic attacks, but because they don't get the help that they need.
Yeah.
With PTSD, panic attacks, depression, anxiety, all that, you know, it builds up. And a perfect example is I had an injury on my tricep
Mm-hmm.
and an injury on my shoulder. And one of my biggest coping skills is working out,
Mm-hmm.
exercise. I couldn't do that for at least 3 weeks. And then once I started working out again, I had a really bad abscess tooth.
Oh, brother.
So then I was down for the count for
Yeah.
another week and a half.
So what did you do? Did you get the tooth out?
I got the tooth out, yeah.
Yeah, right.
But within that month span of time, I was just like, I told people it felt like I stared death in the eye and I blinked.
Yeah. It's a
No.
good analogy.
Yeah. I was just like, what is going on here? You
Yeah.
know? And that was recent.
That was
And-
recent, too.
yeah,
Well, your
yeah,
book has
yeah.
only been out a year or so, right? Not even. It was just recently.
That's my newest book, yeah, of 4.
Charlie Smith, and he is a person in recovery, and he wrote Addiction, Recovery, and Coping Skills Workbook. I highly recommend it. Will there be a copy downstairs for people to read?
There will be.
In the lab, okay.
Yep.
And while we're doing it, again, how can they get your book, a copy of your book?
Go on Amazon.com and look up Charles Smith, Addiction Recovery, and it should just pop up there.
You'll pop up? Yeah.
And on my Wix website, Charlie Dorenzo, let me just look at it real quick.
I got it.
Charlie Dorenzo1
Yeah.
wixsite.com/lifelong experience.
Now, Charlie, if somebody out there would like to have you come speak, it could be anything. It could be a high school, it could be a library. How would they reach you?
I have contact information on my website.
Okay, there you
Yep.
go. So that's how you can connect with them.
Yep.
Now, here's something interesting. I think I've seen this. Someone I used to know. Post-incarceration syndrome. I used to
Yes.
wonder, why is this person so antisocial? It was bizarre.
That's a lot like post-traumatic stress.
Yeah.
And when I worked with some people, I think at Jeremiah Zen, they told me about that.
Yeah.
And I never heard of it before.
Mm.
But it's right along with post-traumatic stress. You were in such a traumatic situation in jail
Yeah.
that you're right. You just don't want to talk to anybody. You don't want to interact with anybody. You get scared very, very easily. It's almost like you think you're going to go back into jail, or you think that jail is going to, you're going to. It's just a really traumatic experience.
A friend that I had, I said he had trouble opening up about what he was thinking and feeling, and I said, or saying the truth about something, and I said, you're not in jail anymore. That's not that code of obedience in jail. This is the real world out here.
Yeah.
People are going to think you're anti-caring about them if you're that cold.
Yeah.
But that was the armor he had on.
There's a lot of people that actually go back into jail because they get out, they don't know what to do with their lives like that, and then they do something to go back into jail.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
I can't imagine wanting to go back. Okay. Now, geez, that would be like, The positive thinking equals good karma.
Yes. I am a huge believer in karma.
Yeah.
And I believe in whatever you do, good or bad, comes back to you.
Yeah.
Like for instance, I just talked to Project New Hope.
Yes.
And I'm going to be adopting a veteran's family.
How does that work?
You can call them up and tell them that for Christmas you would like to adopt a veteran family.
Yeah.
And they ask you how many kids you want to adopt.
You mean for gifts, to get some gifts?
Yeah.
And the group gives you the money to get it for the kids, for the children?
Well, I'll be buying gifts for that family. That family's
Out of
children.
your own pocket?
Yes.
That's pretty amazing. I've never even heard of it. Project New Hope.
Yeah.
And is it in Worcester?
Yes. Project New Hope and Veterans Inc. does it, and I think some other organizations does it too.
So you adopt a family, you find out how many children there are. Do you get gifts for the mom and dad too? A gift for them each?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's just for.
Yeah.
I had to go to them a couple of years ago for help because I lost my job right before Christmas, and I have a 7-year-old son.
Yeah.
And they helped me out. I had trash bags of toys for him.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And how old is he now?
7.
He's 7 now.
He's 7 now. He was like 3 back then.
And you have your custody of your son. He lives with you.
No, I don't. I see him on the weekends.
You see him on the weekend?
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
And
He's young. My God, 7 years.
Yeah.
So he's in 2nd grade.
Yes.
What are his interests?
He's into Transformers. He's into Paw Patrol. We just came back from Legoland in July
Where is Legoland?
in Florida.
Oh, no wonder.
Yeah.
I'm looking around here. What is chunking and Kaizen? What is that?
Kaizen. Kaizen is small steps that add up to bigger change. Like I put in there, making your bed.
Yeah.
Make your bed every day, religiously.
Do I have to? I'm not big on it. I'm not, Susie Homemaker, perfect. If it gets made, it gets made.
But that's if you don't do it, then that's a small change in your life, a small positive change in your life.
Yeah.
And if you do that, then you're going to add up to bigger and better changes.
Yeah.
And chunking. Someone, when I worked at Spectrum, told me about this, and I was like, oh my God, it's so awesome. Chunking, you can divide your, like I have divide your morning routine up into half-hour segments. Like what are you going to do in the first half hour? What are you going to do in the next half hour? And I think I have like 10 spots for that.
Sure.
But you just put in, instead of like everything going on in your head at once,
Yeah.
You're chunking. You're taking stuff out one and one. You know.
Wow, that's a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
Who thought that up?
I don't know who thought it up, but
I like it.
a friend of mine in Spectrum, one of my fellow case managers,
Yeah.
when I worked there, told me about it.
Spectrum is over in Westboro.
Westboro, yes.
It's still there, right? It's kind of a cute campus.
Yes. Yep. It's a huge campus. Yep.
Yeah. All right, we
Yeah.
got about 5 minutes left. I love this part. He goes, name 3 true friends you have.
Hmm.
I love that's important, right?
No, yeah.
Support-
Yeah.
What social activities do you do with them sober?
Hmm.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
a whole life out there. Your life doesn't end when when you get sober. People, I think a lot of the younger ones, oh my God. Or you must see a lot of kids coming in their 20s,
Oh yeah.
30s. This opioid, what is your idea of this opioid? Do you think there's any hope we're going to nail it or what?
I hope one day we do.
Yeah.
The last I checked, Worcester alone, 37 or 38 people died in 1 month.
Yeah.
You know, and it just keeps on. That number just goes up or down, fluctuates, but doesn't get any significantly smaller.
Even with the Narcan in our ambulances,
Yeah.
you can't get everybody.
Right.
Maybe, do you
Right.
think we should have more of the laymen have Narcan with them, just in case they know a buddy does this?
You can get it at certain CVS's.
You can.
Yeah. You can get it at some CVS's. I think Walgreens
Okay, that makes sense.
and Red Cross.
The Red
you
Cross.
I think you might have to go through a small little class for it
Yeah.
to teach you how to administer it.
Okay.
But yeah, I have one in my car.
That's
I have
great.
one in my briefcase.
You're all set.
Yeah.
You mentioned, Charlie, hyperarousal. I was once
Yes.
told that some people, if they hear a door slam and they're in a meeting or whatever they are,
Hmm.
don't react. Is that a sign of PTSD if somebody's
Yeah,
reacts?
that can be a sign of PTSD. Like I was in a actual tank explosion.
Oh my God! You were in the
I was
tank,
in a tank,
and you were here to tell about
the
it.
turret exploded above me.
So the guy that was running the
Yeah,
first,
he had bad flash burns, and he couldn't see for 6 months.
he's lucky to be alive,
Yeah.
but he can see now.
My
right?
Bradley Commander and my gunner were both. Yeah.
So you were down inside the tank.
Yeah, I was like right below them, and
Mm.
I heard a big bang. And even talking about it now, I get the chills.
God.
But
Yeah. You're lucky you're here. That's
yeah.
And
yeah.
now you can share all this. It help people with he has in the book trigger points,
Mm-hmm.
trigger things,
Yeah.
learning how to cope and maybe not run away from it.
Right. Yeah.
It's not always easy. I mean, I hate
No.
elevators. I will take the stairs if I know it's in a building with old elevators, Charlie. I won't get in it.
Hmm.
I've been known to take 6 flights, 8 flights because it's old. If
Yeah.
it's newer, I really don't worry about it because I'm looking for all those modern buttons. Like, okay, here's the emergency one.
Yep.
Have some water with you in case you got to sit there a while.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I hate elevators
Hmm.
in general. So, Charlie, one last time, addiction
Yeah.
recovery and coping skills workbook, lifelong experience series is great. It's very well written. Charlie is doing a lot to help a lot of people. So, again, where can they pick it up?
On Amazon.com, look up my name, Addiction Recovery, or I think you can look it up, Lifelong Experience, and you'll find it that way. Or my website, which is Charlie Dorenza 1. Let me look at it again. I gotta shorten this thing somehow. Charlie Dorenza 1 wixsite.com/lifelong experience.
There you go. And if they'd like to
Yeah.
talk with you personally, they can connect with you through the website.
Yes. Yeah.
Is there a word that actually says contact?
I have, yes. Yeah.
I can't tell you how many websites I've been on, and I'm looking for where is
Oh, yeah.
the contact, because
Yeah.
maybe I want to email them, or they don't have their email on there. I'm like, who
Mhm.
doesn't have? Thank you, Charlie, for being with us. Look for this
You're welcome.
downstairs in the Upton Library. Check it out. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
being with us.
Thank you very
Good
much.
to have you here. Real positive. We'll
Thank
see you
you.
next time. I'll be my guest.